welcome, folks. Welcome to Lovin and Livin in Vegas, the podcast. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm your host. I want to thank you all for being a part of the show today. We come to you Monday through Friday. Just excited about life. I want to apologize once again, folks. I'm just getting over a cold. I've had it for like almost a week now, and so you can still hear a little nasally, something like that in my voice, but it's all good. We'll be done with this hopefully in another couple of days, and we'll get this all behind us. So it is. Today's a special day. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff on tap today, and we'll get to most of it. Hopefully, we'll get to most of it. I'm gonna adjust my camera one more time. There we go. I think that's a little better. That way you can see the shine off the top of my head there. So a lot of stuff on tap today. It is the Christmas season, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to talk about some of the things that are going on downtown. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the housing here in Las Vegas, because I don't know about you, but if you've heard anything about housing in Vegas, you probably thought, boy, you know what? Where are we at the top of the market? So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And we're going to talk a little bit about Tony Hsieh. Okay, because Tony Hsieh has been doing some cool stuff. And I think we should acknowledge him. And so we'll talk a little bit about him. So, so before we get going, let's do some housekeeping. And we'll drink a little bit of coffee first, too. I got to tell you a real quick story about this, too. So I get to see my daughter pretty much every day. And so we're driving down the road, and I've got my coffee cup in the coffee holder, next to me. And I was reaching down to get my coffee, and she's sitting next, and she's got her hand like over the top of my coffee cup. And I'm going, hey, you want to move your hand there? And she's looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm going, well, coffee, if you don't move your coffee, we could be rolling around here pretty quick, because I have to have my coffee in the morning. And so we laughed about it, and we kind of did a little joke thing about it. But it is imperative that a man or a woman who loves coffee have their coffee in the morning. Wouldn't you agree? I think you would. So I had to remind her of that and say, hey, honey, there's some priorities in life. And since you're already alive, the only other priority in life now is actually coffee. So that's kind of our little running joke this morning. So we're doing something different, folks, and I'm really I hesitate to even tell you, but we have to do it. So we are. I'm gonna show you the new cover to our magazine. Okay, so some of you can probably see it over my shoulder over there, but this is going to be the 2022 cover to our magazine. I know, and a name change. Yeah. So we were going to call our magazine Lovin and Livin in Vegas magazine. We're actually officially going to debut it, and you, if you're watching the show right now, are going to be able to see this. We're going to take it down pretty quick here, but it's actually called Livin in Vegas magazine. That's right, Livin in Vegas magazine. And you can see it's almost complete right now. We've actually got a couple more weeks to have it done, but that is the new cover. How do you like it? How do you like the new cover? Hopefully you like it. Some people will see this later on this evening, but this is the new cover of the magazine, and we're going to take that down now. But if you would like a digital edition, okay, I'll put it back up. I know some people are already asking. If you would like a digital edition of the magazine, okay, it's really easy. All you got to do is send an email. Just send it to info@lovinandlivinvegas.com. That's info@lovinandlivinvegas.com. And you can get a digital copy of the magazine as soon as it comes out, which will be actually in another couple of weeks. Actually, we'll just have it out. But we wanted to make sure that came out that way and that you got to see it. Pretty exciting, don't you think? I think so too. So let's talk. Let's talk a little bit. Oh gosh, what do we want to start with? Oh, you know what? Downtown, folks. There's a place called uh, Freed's Bakery. Now, this is really important, folks. Freed's Bakery, for those of you, Freed's Bakery is by far the oldest bakery in Las Vegas. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, it's the oldest bakery in Las Vegas, and they're going to have a new location. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm just getting over this cold. Okay, glad I didn't bring that up so you didn't see me sneezing my head off. Freed's Bakery is opening a new location in downtown Las Vegas. Now, this is pretty cool. Freed's Bakery is bringing its signature sweets to downtown Las Vegas. Newest location, it's a dessert shop at 60 East California Avenue near Main Street and Charleston Boulevard. Company's boutique patisserie, patisserie, I guess it's hard to say, will offer various pastries, cookies, and other baked goods, including Freed's strawberry shortcake, cannoli, and Parisian cake. So very cool. They're actually having a grand opening on Thursday. So if you want to go down there and check out the grand opening of the place, Mayor Goodman's going to be down there. She'll be down there Thursday at about 10:45 in the morning. Now, this is so the reason why we bring this up is because shops like Freed's have made Vegas their home for decades. I mean, decades this place has been around. And and we think we should acknowledge places like this. There's another place, and maybe we'll do a story on them next week. But oh gosh, now I can't remember the name of the place. It's custard. It's called Love It. So Love It, Luvit, I think is how you spell it. It is a custard place, but they've been around. Oh my gosh, I know at least the '60s that they've been around, and I'll double check on that. So don't quote me on that. But they've been around for decades. I mean, decades since we were little kids. And if you didn't know where they were at, you probably wouldn't even find them. So we encourage you to go to these places, like go down to 60 East Charleston Boulevard to Freed's Thursday, 10:45 a.m. And you can check out their newest location, okay, which is great. There is a story that we don't have the picture for it, but downtown, the Fremont Street Experience is going to have their tree lighting ceremony tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow about 5 o'clock. They've got a 42-foot Christmas tree that they're going to be lighting up down there. They're going to have music, they're going to have dancing, all kinds of cool stuff that's going to be down there. And the reason, once again, why I bring up the Fremont Street Experience is that they are a part of Las Vegas. I mean, an integral part of Las Vegas. I remember as a kid going down to Fremont Street for Friday nights. And that was where we used to go and hang out. I mean, that was Friday night. We would go down to, and even as I got older, excuse me, as I got older, we would hang out at the casinos down there, the Horseshoe Club, and especially the Horseshoe Club, and we would watch bands play, and those were so cool. I mean, those were cool times. If you've never had an opportunity to do that, and you are just wanting to experience Vegas the way Vegas should be experienced, there are places downtown, the Golden Nugget. I don't know if they even have. Do they even have? We're going to check on this. See if they have their band stands, because there were bands like Santa Fe, Cookie Jar and his Crumbs, or Cookie Jar and the Crumbs, Tommy Rocker, bands like that that were a part of my growing up here in Las Vegas during the '70s and during the '80s, early '80s, before I became one of those people. Yes, folks, I was actually a lounge lizard. Yes, we called them lounge lizards in those days. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, we had a great time. of performing, being a part of the Vegas lounge scene. On occasion, people come up to me and they go, "Hey, I remember you that you played over at the Four Queens," and we did. I played at the Four Queens for probably, is it 3 years? Yeah, I played at the Four Queens for about 3 years off and on with a band that I was a part of in those days, and so yeah, kind of cool. Mm. So we encourage you, go on down there to the Fremont Street Experience, see the tree light, have fun. Um, there's a story about the Calico Basin. Now, we brought this up before. Um, back in a couple months ago, we brought this story up about Calico Basin. If you've never been out to Calico Basin sits at basically if you take Charleston Boulevard going west, keep going, go into Red Rock uh, National, the park system over there. Your first major right is called Calico Basin. It's past the sign, but you'll see it. There'll be a sign that says Calico Basin. Turn off into Calico Basin, and if you go up probably a quarter of a mile, on the left-hand side is actually where people start. They park, they climb rocks, they do all kinds of cool stuff out there in Calico Basin. Well, the problem has arisen where people are not really respecting and reverencing that park system over there, and they're going up there and they're basically just kind of trashing the place, leaving I've been up there where I've seen people broken windows out, that kind of stuff with their cars. There's a parking area there where you park your car and then you get out of your car and you go walking up in the mountains area. Here, I'll show this picture one more time about Calico Basin. So you can see that there's actually a mountain area. You can see people walking back there, and you can walk back there because they've created a trail system out there, and there's a lot of rock climbers who actually go climbing rocks out there. Well, as a result of people not respecting the area out there, what has happened as the Bureau of Land Management has said we're going to consider creating a fee service, put a gate up there, lock it down basically, so that we can control that area even more. Oh, so what this means, if you've gone up to the Loop area, which is just a little further up the road on Charleston Boulevard, or Charleston, kind of the Charleston Loop, what they've done is they've set up, you cannot go to the Loop now, which is basically a kind of a big loop area, hiking area, trails area, camping area, unless you pay like $15. And now you actually have to get a reservation to even get in there. Now, I got problems with this, okay? And hopefully you do too, because you're already seeing this. Things that were a part of our growing up have become basically closed off. This is our land. We're Americans. We pay taxes. We do all that stuff. Okay, I could get on my high horse about this. If you would like to keep that area in Calico Basin free, open, one, you have to speak up about it. We're going to put a link to this on our Facebook page, and we're going to blast this out. We'll actually send this out as a part of our email, because you actually need to say something before tomorrow on this. And we've been talking about this before. You actually need to say something about this. They're actually going to have a public hearing on this, and it's going to be Wednesday, December 8th, 4:30, and they're going to consider adding a gate, a fee booth at the entrance, operating hours, that kind of stuff, so that it's ridiculous. You don't want this, folks. We do not want this. But the only way you're going to be able to not allow this to happen is if you say something about it. Okay, so hey guys, you've just got to say something about it. The Henderson Silver Knights. Our Henderson Silver Knights they're starting a toy drive. It's called Toy for Tots. So Lucky Launch is going to benefit Toys for Tots. Now this is actually a pretty cool story too. The Henderson Silver Knights announced today the first annual Lucky Launch. The teams take on the teddy bear toss. And if you've been to any of these games where they throw teddy bears on the rink, it's fairly similar to that. All fans are encouraged to bring stuffed animals to toss on the ice after the Silver Knights score their first goal against Abbotsford, the Canucks. A limited amount of lucky stuffed animals will be will be available for purchase on the concourse at the Orleans Arena. Okay, so this is going to be, the game will take place Sunday, December 19th, 4 p.m. Okay, this is cool. So they're trying to raise awareness for Toys for Tots, and they're raising money, all kinds of cool stuff. And we love the Henderson Silver Knights, that they're doing a great job. No, this is not the Vegas Golden Knights. This is the Henderson Silver Knights, who are basically our farm league for the Vegas Golden Knights. And they're getting in on the act, doing some great things for the Valley also. So we thank you very much for what you're doing. I want to remind everybody that we actually do have a magazine that's coming out. It's called Livin in Vegas magazine. Okay, Livin in Vegas magazine. All right, we're not going to show this a lot because we've been working on this for a long time. If you've noticed, a lot of the posts that we put up on our Facebook page, they have the little hashtag Livin in Vegas. Well, kind of figured we were going this way. Okay, and we've been doing it for quite a while. So we want to proudly announce that right now, the magazine that we're going to be launching in January is going to be called Livin in Vegas. Okay, Livin in Vegas. And this is actually the cover for the magazine. I hope you love it, folks. We want to give a shout out to all of the people who are going to be in it. So I don't know if you can see all of it right now. Victoria Seaman will be in it. Sherry and Mike Tillman, who own Pro Cyclery Las Vegas. Nevada Film Office is going to be one of the stories in there. Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, who is actually a doctor here in the Valley. He does a prostadentist. Yeah, he does some stuff like that. Russ Langer, who's the voice of the Las Vegas Aviators. Also, UNLV is going to be in it. Our friend Gilda. And many, many more. But this magazine is going to be coming out in January. And if you would like to get a copy of it, a digital copy of the magazine, all you got to do is send us your email, and just send the email to info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. That's info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. And you can actually get it. We actually have the new Livin in Vegas email too, but we just didn't have time to put it up yet. But that's the magazine cover. Hope you dig that. I think it's pretty cool. What do you think? We'll actually put a post up about that and see how much you like that also. Okay, cool. What else? Oh, so we got some cool stuff downtown, folks. Or excuse me, on the Strip. So Michael Buble. Michael Buble is actually going to be another guy who's going to be doing a residency here. And his is a short residency, but he's going to be doing a short residency over at Resorts World, April 27th of 2022. Michael Buble, for those of you who don't know, is a Canadian singer and made USA his home now. And he's doing some fantastic stuff. Sounds a lot like Frank Sinatra. Very cool guy. Fits in with Vegas. Very cool. The whole Vegas swag, the whole Rat Pack thing. Wears a suit, he's got the hair, got the suit. So Michael Buble has announced that he'll headline a limited engagement at Resorts World in Vegas, like I said, next year, April 22nd. He's also, what else is he going to be doing? Yeah, so we'll put a link to this on our Facebook page also. Also, if you go to our website, folks, you can actually get a lot of this stuff. Actually, updates to any of the stuff that we're doing. You can actually check that out, which is always cool. And I think you can, get all up to date on all the cool stuff that's going on in Vegas. How many of you actually own an apartment or have thought about, renting an apartment in Vegas? Well, if you have thought about it, and you've looked into it, folks, you probably noticed that home prices and apartment prices have gone through the roof, folks, especially if you're thinking about home prices here in Las Vegas, okay? Um, there is the price on apartments. Let's talk about apartments real quick, okay? I got plenty of time. Okay, plenty of time. If you're looking at amenities, the price on these apartments are going through the roof. Two-bedroom apartment in Las Vegas, okay? About $1,500. Okay, seriously, it's very expensive. Who would have thunk, right? Um, if you want but the home prices, okay, that's probably even more. Um, they said that the home prices in Las Vegas are about to set another new record. Yeah, medium housing prices up more than 20% over a year ago. Okay, this is crazy. The Las Vegas realtors suggest Southern Nevada housing market may be in store for an unseasonably warm winter. The median price for a house in Vegas. Now, I was a realtor many years ago. Okay, wow. This is during November. $420,000 for a house. Whoa. Up 21.7% over a year ago, which when it was $345,000. Gosh. That tops the records set from previous months by another 2.4%. The median price for local condos and townhomes in Vegas, $240,000. What? $240,000. That's $250,000 for a condo in Vegas. Also breaks an all-time record for homes. Oh my gosh, it's just crazy. It is crazy. Now, the reason why I bring this up is I was listening to a radio show on one of my favorite radio stations, which is KUNV, the university station. Realtor came on, and she said that basically everything had basically flattened out. Home prices in Vegas, don't worry about it. If you can still get a good price for a home here, but you're not going to get as much as you want. This was just like last week I heard this. Okay? I was out riding last week before I caught my cold. And yes, it is a cold, folks. It's nothing more than a cold. It really is. I took my temperature. Actually, I have a temperature gauge. It's just a cold. It's just a very nasty cold. But that realtor was wrong. She was wrong in that she said that home prices were basically going to level off. They're actually still going up. And I know they are because I was looking at home prices. My old home in Summerlin, we bought that house for $140,000 in 98. Okay, 1998. That same home now is $543,000 for that home. Now, it was a nice home. It really was. Maybe it was undervalued. Okay. It was a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story, 3-car garage with a pool. And I bought it for $149,000, $160,000, something like that. We sold it for quite a bit more than that. But now, in 2021, that house is $543,000. My gosh. That's crazy. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, if you're going to buy a home in Vegas, now is the time. Just buy the house. Just buy, don't matter where it is, just buy a piece of dirt, any place, because if you don't, you're going to really regret it here in just a couple of years. Okay. Let's talk about, do I have time? Yeah, I do. Okay, I've got time. Robin Lehner, this is the guy. There's the hair. Robin Lehner. We did a story on this yesterday about Robin. And Robin is the goaltender for the Vegas Golden Knights. And he said he's skipping the 2022 Olympics. Now, he said that that he was... now, the reason why he gave... This is an updated story. He said he's expected to not play for health reasons. Okay? Now, he would have played for Sweden anyways, because he's, from Sweden, from Gothenburg, Sweden. But he cited health reasons for skipping the Winter Olympics in Beijing. Longtime mental health coach. He is a long-time mental health advocate who's been open about his bipolar disorder and his own struggles off the ice. So we just want to wish him the best. And we've been noticing a lot of guys with bipolar issues. And Robin says, hey, guess what? I've got some issues. And I'm just, And we want to thank him for coming forward, because a lot of guys just would have never come forward and said anything about their issues with bipolar issues. So we want to thank him for doing that. On the same vein, let's talk about this dog. This is the cutest story. Our Las Vegas dog gets an American Kennel Award for being the first ice skating dog. I know, isn't this cute? So, this is a great story. Ice skating dog from Nevada is one of 5 canines honored at this year's American Kennel Club Humane Fund Awards. Isn't this cute? Now, this story is just trending all over the place about how we have a dog that is actually doing some great things. So the cool thing about this, and this is what's dog's? I think his dog's name is Benny. Yeah, okay, Benny. Okay, he's owned by Cheryl Del Sangro of Las Vegas, and he can ice skate. So what they've done is this lady, a couple of years ago, put some skates on the dog. Thought it would be kind of cool. Take some pictures of the dog, because the dog really loves retrieving pucks, that kind of stuff. Well, it started trending, and then all of a sudden she goes, hey, let's see if he can skate. And she made skates for the dog and found out the dog can actually skate. It's so cool. So now this dog's just blowing up all over the place. And he's from Vegas, and so what they did is they just, they honor the dog for the American Kennel Club. So very cool. He's an 8-year-old lab. Once again, his name is Benny. And so we thank you so much. You're doing such a good job. I don't have time to do the other stories. I would love to do the story, but I just don't have time. Tomorrow, we're actually going to talk about the Silver Knights a little bit more, because I just don't have time for it today. But we're going to talk about the Silver Knights a little bit more, because they're doing some great stuff out there. And we'll have time to do that, because they actually have a new stadium opening up. Anyways, folks, I want to thank you once again for being a part of the show. We're having a great time here. Once again, the new magazine's coming out pretty quick. If you would like a digital copy of our magazine, all you've got to do is send an email. Send me an email at info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. That's info@lovinandlivininvegas.com. And you can actually get a digital copy of our magazine. It's free. It's all you have to do. Put you on our mailing list, and we'll send you out some cool stuff, because we are having a launch party for the magazine. Oh, and I know some people are asking. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture of the magazine one more time before we take off, and you can check it out. Okay, there it is. All right, Livin in Vegas. Okay, Livin in Vegas magazine. It's coming out January 2022. It's our premiere issue. That's the cover right there, folks. I want to thank you once again, folks, for being a part of the show. It's been Sherman Ray for Lovin and Livin in Vegas, the podcast. We will see you again tomorrow for another broadcast, 8:30 in the morning until about 9 o'clock, for Lovin and Livin in Vegas, the podcast. We'll talk to you later.